Peace, peace, peace. This is Maury Yacob and ITFTR Network. I just want to make sure everything is kicking, popping, live real quick. Just give me a second. Okay, everything is popping real good. So this is Maury Yacob and ITFTR Network. Thank you for joining me. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. You should be celebrating a point in your life at this point of the things that you have conquered, you identified, you realized, you went after, and you conquered. You should be celebrating at this moment, at this time, for the Shabbat. You should be thanking the Creator that you have an opportunity to celebrate what you have conquered. 6 days shall thou work. What is you working on? You're working on yourself. I know we look at it saying, well, we're going out for captain. No. You fell. So you have to work back to get back to the Sabbath. 6 days you work on yourself. You identify and you master those low ends. You control those low ends. So when the Sabbath comes, we have something to praise the Creator for. While He's given us mercy, while He have given us grace. You see? But before then, let's blow the shofar. All praises. I know that wasn't all that, but it's all cool. I'm not trying to blow today. We thank the Creator for each one of you for joining me. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the page, press that subscribe and share the page as well to let us know that we are here. Also, if you haven't seen part 1, I advise you to go back to see part 1 because we are actually on part 7. And which at the beginning we was talking about the individual wisdom that we must have for self. We have to correct parents if they haven't taught you the law from the beginning. It was their fault, the reason why your life turned out the way it was and is. But then as we move further, we started talking about the house, the building of the house, because wisdom teaches individuals. So when individuals connect with each other, they can begin to build a house together. You see, that's what this is about, and that's how a nation come about. So we thank the Creator for each one of you for joining us today. This is Maury Yacob and ITFTR Network. So we thank you. Thank you. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. Without no further ado, we're gonna go ahead and move into part 7. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move into part 7, and we're picking up on verse 8. Okay, because we left off on verse 8 on last week, and I told you this week in the Creator's will, we're going to pick up verse 8, because if Israel does not build the house correctly, then the nation will never become the nation, because the nation of Israel delegates itself on the house. Shalom, shalom to Sister Latoya G. Happy Shabbat to you. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like button and the share page. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the page as well. Thank you for joining us today. The house is something that we must build correctly, because this is where the Creator dwells. He dwells in the house. Okay, He dwells in the house that is built correctly according to law. He does not dwell in any other house. That's why the Israelites had to make sure they built the temple, which is a house, the way it was instructed for them to build. You cannot build the house any other kind of way and thinking that the Creator is going to dwell in it. That is farther from the truth. Okay? So let's get into it. Shalom, shalom to Sister Sephora, Trey, and Zayden. Happy Shabbat. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like. You also press that subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the page. And you press that share as well to let others know that we're here. So let's get back into it. Let's get into Sirach, the 3rd chapter. We're going to start at verse 8. Okay? Because this is very key. This is very important. And I advise, if anybody hasn't seen part 1 all the way up to part 6, I advise you to go back to review part 1 through part 6. Okay? Because we are actually on part 7 tonight. All right? So now, Sirach, the 3rd chapter, verse 8. It says, honor thy father and mother, both in what? Word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. Now, let's just pick that apart real quick before we get to verse 9. Okay? When you honor your mother and father, both in word, that means you tell them the truth. You see, you tell them the truth if they're not in the truth. You be respectful in your words towards them. That's honoring them in words. But telling them the truth is you cannot be scared to tell your parents the truth. And it says, and also in action. You see? Your words has to stand behind your movement. You can't say one thing and then you end up doing something totally different. That's a hypocrite. People will never take you serious. Your parents won't take you serious because they know that you talk this way, but they know at the end of the day you're going to be this way. You see? So your words and your deeds has to line up. And you honor them with that. Okay? Now watch what it says. That a blessing may come upon you from them. It's not saying they're going to give you a house, give you a car. That's not what that's talking about. We're talking about righteous parents. They're going to be passing down legacy to you. That's the blessing, the legacy. That's what Jacob passed down to his 12 sons. That's what Isaac passed to Jacob. You see how they go? They passes the legacy to you. That's the blessing. Not material stuff. They unlock the vision of the Creator to you. They unlock your purpose for the bloodline to you. That's the blessing. I'm going to get into it in a few. But that's the blessing. They unlock the very nature of you, so as that now you can start to move and maneuver and get the blessing from the Creator onto your life. See? That's why you honor them both in words and deeds. You're not going to waver. They're going to see you prosper. They're going to see you grow. And that means over a period of time, they can trust you. to be able to give the things to you that you need. That's the blessing. That's the blessing. That's why in Sirach, the 30th chapter, it says, when the father leaves, he knows what he's leaving behind. Because he passed the legacy to his son. Legacy is not a guesswork. It's a passed down work. You see? That's why when we go to verse 9, look what verse 9 says. For the blessing of the father establishes the house of the children. The blessing of the house, the blessing of the father. See, the father gives the blessings. The father gives it. The blessing of the father establishes the house of the children. Now let's dig into this real quick. The word established just simply means to be found, settled permanently, make stable or secure, or to set firm on a solid foundation. Now I want you to think about that. Hey, peace, brother. Color schemas. 3 art of art. Peace, family, peace. So let's look at something real fast. See, a man loves stability. A man wants to be stable. A man is not a man that floats around from here to there to there to here. That's not a man. A man moves to become firm into what he does. You see? Because if you're constantly moving, you can't be stable. You can't teach your children anything. So the blessings of the Father establishes, it foundates, it secures the home. It puts the home on a solid foundation. That comes from the Father. Because the Father is going to make sure nothing get past him to destroy where his children is. See? And as the children grows, he began to pass down that legacy to them so as that when they have children, they can now teach their children about the foundation of the Father. Not a foundation that moves from here to there to there to here. We're talking about a stable foundation. That's what a father gives to the home. A stable, a secure foundation. You see? Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. Let me get into the first video. This is a real short, quick video. Fair use, fair use. I don't own no rights to this material. Excuse me. This is for teacher purposes and educational purposes only, for the upbuilding of us as a people. So fair use, fair use. This is not my content. So let's get into it, family. Let me show you a solid foundation that comes from the Father. This video is the Father teaches the Son a big lesson. Okay? So let's get into it real quick. Let me turn the music down. So let's get back into it. Let's get into it, family. Let's go.
His mother and called her by her name.
Like she crazy? Cursing at her, telling her what you won't do? You won't clean your room? You won't do what you want to do? And you talk to your mother like that? Like you tough? Do you think you tough, little man? Talk to me like you talk to your mother. to me? You think you're tough, don't you? What's the point of me? Tell me you ain't gonna do what I say. I dare you. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it to me? Why you do it to her? Why you talk to her disrespectfully? Why? Why do you talk to your mother disrespectfully? You don't know why you do it. Today I'm gonna help you find out why. And today it is. Today it is. Do you understand? You will not call your mother out of her name ever again.
Father teaching his son to respect. He
Now,
just disrespected his mother and called her by
now, hold on. Now I want y'all to realize something real quick. I'm gonna play the video again. But notice the father is not talking peacefully to his son. A lot of you think you would call that, oh, that's being aggressive, over aggressive. Notice he's yelling at his son straight in his face. You see? This is what he's doing to his son. And society got you thinking that that is out of order for how the man talks, a real man. You see? That's the aggressiveness in a male's voice is the first form of discipline. I'm gonna let that sink for you. The aggressiveness in a male's voice is the first form of discipline. Those who understand about a house understand this. The first form of discipline from a man, from a father, is the voice. It's the tone of his voice, the aggressiveness of his voice. The second form of discipline from a father is, you see how he's standing right up on his son? Notice he's staring at him straight in his eyes. There's no weakness there. There's no weakness. That's the second form of discipline. The third form of discipline from a father to a son, do you see how he bent over? That's a ready position for attack. This is how a house is being held up by the father. The son disrespected the mother. That's the same form as disrespecting him. Because the Bible says what? The two shall become what? One. The two shall become one. Sister Latoya put up, without the father, a lot of the mothers will get ran down on by their kids. That's right. They will get ran down by children. The fathers bring stability, stableness in the homes. The father set the foundation in the homes. I know a lot of people might not like this, but it's okay. If you planning on living a righteous life, this is what you have to go by. But you don't have to follow this. It ain't up to me. It's up to you. The father sets the tone in the house. When the father gets involved, that means that is the last result. Before chaos and anarchy takes over in the house. The father speaks only when it's necessary. But when he speaks, he comes with the authority because he realized he's the foundation. And if he cannot stop the disrespect, the anarchy in his home, then there's no foundation that he is actually governing. I want y'all to let that, I want that to sink. That's why when the father moves, it's not a move just to move. He's moving to bring order. I'm gonna let that sink. I want that to sink in your cognitive thinking. So number one, a man, a father, teaches his children the difference between life and this system's life. Because ask yourself the question, where did this young man, his son, get talking to his mother like that? That he's disciplining his son about? Where did he get it from? Because obviously it didn't come from the father. So he can't blame that on the father. So where does he get that behavior from? He's bringing order to show his son as a warning shot. There's a difference between my system and this world system. There's a difference. This is what he's showing his son. My system, you do not disrespect anything in here that I'm upholding. You respect it. The world system teaches you, you can disrespect because all you got to do is what? Call us. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when it come for you? That's what the system teaches you, to call the bad boys. This is what they teach. This is what the system. So he's teaching his son the difference. You don't respect nothing. You don't disrespect anything that I'm upholding. Because the system teaches you it doesn't matter. If they don't like it, call us and we'll come handle it. See how that work? See how that work? Number two, the life that the father is teaching his son in this video is culture, lineage, self, death, and serving and knowing, understanding the right power, meaning the creator. This is what he's teaching his son right now in this small little clip. Let's go back into it again. Let's see. Let's listen to him very careful. Let's go.
Her name.
Like she crazy, cursing at her, telling her what you won't do. You won't clean your room. You won't do what you want to do. And you talk to your mother like that? Like you tough? Do you think you tough, little man? Talk to me like you talk to your mother. Talk to me. You think you tough, don't you? What's up on me? Cuss me out. Tell me you ain't gonna do what I say do. I dare you. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it to me? Why you do it to her? Why you talk to her disrespectfully? Why? Why do you talk to your mother disrespectfully? You don't know why you do it. Today I'm gonna help you find out why. And today it is. Today it is. Do you understand? You will not call your mother out of her name ever again.
Father teaching.
You see? It's how that work. He's giving him the life, culture, self, death, serving and knowing and understanding the right power, meaning the creator. This is what he's teaching his son. He's just teaching his son all that. See, because the young man said, he asked him, where did you get that from? He said, I don't know. He didn't know where he got it from. He just ain't going to tell his father. Because he know it goes against his father's foundation that his father is upholding. He got it from the system. TV, video games, friends, you see? Schools. This is where he got a lot of that from. Because they teach children in school that if your parents, if you could call the police on your own parents. They teach these things to the young children in school today. They teaches them the system of what? Material wealth. They don't give you truth about self. They tell you about the system's inheritance. They talk to you about this culture, the power that this system carries, and value of life, which makes you devalue the Creator's foundation. It's always the opposite. They teach you the opposite. The system teaches you the opposite from the Creator's foundation. It teaches you, it makes you devalue the man. It makes you devalue the foundation of that man. And got you chasing and running after materialism. The culture of lies. You see? This system's inheritance. Not the father's inheritance, but this system's inheritance. What is the system inheritance? A pension. 401k. That's the system's inheritance. Social Security. You see? I can call it out. And it makes you devalue the very foundation that you come from, which is your father. This is what it does. So he was teaching his son the valuable lesson of respect. Let's get into the next video. Fair use, fair use. This is Miles Monroe. He's a Christian pastor. He's dead now, but the thing is, there are certain points of him that I do agree with. I don't agree with the JC stuff or whatever. But this is on topic of what I'm talking about. And so he goes in real quick and he hits a nail on the head. So let's get into it. Fair use, fair use. We're still under the Fair Use Act, so let's get into it.
Head of the house. Tonight, I'm taking you back to kingdom teaching. You are on the bottom of the house. You're supposed to carry the weight of the whole family. You've been around this beautiful hotel all the last few days. I saw you through my window taking photographs of the building, of the chandelier, of the beautiful plants. You took pictures of the walls. Guess what? You never took a photograph of the foundation. That means a real man doesn't walk around bragging about what he does for his family. He just does it, doesn't care if nobody takes a photograph. He just holds up his wife, his children, pays the bills. He keeps them solid. He keeps them together. A real man doesn't brag about paying the rent. He doesn't brag about buying groceries. He doesn't brag about keeping the lights on. Why? That's his responsibility. Clap your hands and say, I'm a real man. You've been taught in your culture.
So you hear what he's saying. They told you that you're the top. Then if you're the top, then who's holding the family up? Who's holding the family up? If you're the one at the top. Who's holding the family up? See, this is the reason where the fight, this is where the war comes in at between male and female. The female is supposed to be at the top. You men, we're supposed to be at the bottom, upholding, being the foundation to the family. You ain't at the top. The female's supposed to be at the top. You're supposed to be on the bottom. But a lot of you men, you trying to be at the top where the females belongs. If you at the top, then who's holding the family up? That's my question. Men, if you are at the top, meaning you're the head, then who's holding the family up? Who's the root? You can say, oh, well, it's the law. No. The law is the root to the earth. But who's the root in your house? Who's the foundation in your house? Who? If you're the one at the top. Men trying to fight to be the top. But I always ask the question, then who's the foundation? Because if you're at the top, who's at the bottom? Who's that foundation there? This is where a lot of men go wrong. See, I'm the head. And Paul says the man is the head of the woman. No, he's the foundation to her. He's the foundation. This is why I think a lot of men don't get it. Everything is built upon the foundation. So if you're at the top, then tell me what you're building on. Well, we're building on the law. No. The law is already in the earth, but you're the one that's building the house. So what is predicating your foundation? Well, the law. Well, okay, show me the law. Because the Bible says if I'm used in an allegorical sense, the woman came from the man, right? So that makes you her foundation. You can't get around the foundation either which way you try to slice the pie or cut the cake. If you say that she literally came from you, that makes you her foundation. If you ask her to marry you, that makes you her foundation. There's no way to cut the pie or slice the cake. Either which way you try to even cut it, you're going to still be that foundation to that female. She's the foundation. She builds on top of you. not you building on top of her. So those men that is trying to fight to be the head, that's the curse. He shall be your head. He shall rule over thee. How do the man rule over the female? No, he's supposed to foundate her. See, when you're ruling over something, that means you're trying to be in a position you don't belong. And he was telling the female, he was telling the serpent, and he was telling the female and the male that that man is going to be out of order, as well as that female. They're going to be trying to fight for the top. Who's at the bottom then? Who's holding up the house? That's the reason why Cain killed. That's the reason why Cain killed Abel. Because who's the foundation? Who's the foundation? It's supposed to be the man, the male. He's the foundation to the house. And he's supposed to show off his wife and his children. You see how that works? That's how that works. That means the father is the root to the family. He's the root. Like a tree root, he's the root. He's the anchor to the family. The father. He's the root to the family. So in essence, so the essence of man or your father is the foundation. The essence of him. The very essence. We talk about the present. We talk about the essence of your father. Let me play this video one more time, and then we're going to look up the definition for the word essence. Let's get into it. Let's go. Oh, no, not this one. Not this one. What the world? Stop sharing. Okay, let me get out of here. Okay, let me get back. This thing just jump. Just give me a second. I'm going to put it back up. Your father is the very essence, to his family. Let's go. Here's the video again. So let's get into the video. Here we go. Let's go.
But you are the head of the house. Tonight, I'm taking you back to kingdom teaching. You are on the bottom of the house. You're supposed to carry the weight of the whole family. You've been around this beautiful hotel all the last few days. I saw you through my window taking photographs of the building, of the chandelier, of the beautiful plants. You took pictures of the walls. Guess what? You never took a photograph of the foundation. That means a real man doesn't walk around bragging about what he does for his family. He just does it, doesn't care if nobody takes a photograph. He just holds up his wife, his children, pays the bills, he keeps them solid, he keeps them together. A real man doesn't brag about paying the rent. He doesn't brag about buying groceries. He doesn't brag about keeping the lights on. Why? That's his responsibility. Clap your hands and say, I'm a real man.
So this is what I be saying. A real man don't care. He just want to show off his house. Because he is the foundation to what you see. You see how that works? But when the male tries to be at the top, this is the problem. His job is the foundation. His job is the foundation. Let's look up the word. Let's get into the definition of essence. Here we go. Essence. Essence simply means the nature of what? Indispensable qualities of something, especially something abstract, that determines its character. You see that? The very essence is the abstract. Let's get into a little bit more of it. Essence means the permanent contrast with the what? Accidental element of being, the individual, real or ultimate nature of a thing, especially as opposed to its existence. You're talking about the real person, the essence. The very essence. You're talking about the properties or attributes by means of which something can be placed in its proper class or identified as being what it is. Your father, essence, that's the very nature of him, is the foundation to your house. So now let's look at this thing real quick. So what is the father? What is the father's essence? What if your father was in jail? So what is his essence? Do jail identify your father? What if my father was so what we call a deadbeat? For him not coming around, I don't know him or whatever. Does that define the very essence of him? You'll say yes. Who was your father before he was a deadbeat to you? Who was your father before he went to jail? Who was your father before he was strung out on drugs? Before he became homeless? Who was your father? Did you ever try to figure it out? Or you just simply went according to what you think? We're talking about the very essence of a man. It does not define, his essence is not defined by simply what I see now. I'm going to let that sink for a minute. Because see, this is how a house defines a man or a father, because they defined him by what they see now. But they don't go back to see the very essence of that man before he became a prisoner, before he became homeless. We don't define this man before we just define him now. And we say, well, now it matters. No, family. No, the essence, we talk about the very essence of a man. You can't limit my life or a male's life just by what you see now. See, because if I define your life by which I see now, I'm going to lose honor at you, with you, and about you. going to be able, I'm not going to honor you correctly or properly. What you think about what I'm telling you? We're talking about the very nature of a person. That means when I see your situation now, I have to go back before I understood the situation and realize who that man is. Hey, shalom, shalom, Brother Joel. Happy Shabbat. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like and subscribe button and press the share button as well. So we have to realize that we have to understand the very essence of the male when he becomes a father. Because that male is a foundation to a family. Let's keep cooking. Watch this. Watch this. Let's keep cooking. Let's go. We're still under the Fair Use Act. Let's go. Let's keep cooking.
That we are the head of the home. And we normally envision that as being on top of the family. I have come to correct that image. The male is not the top of the family. He is at the bottom. He is the foundation. The foundation carries the entire house. And when God created the human family, he was building and constructing the human entity. And God began like all good contractors. He began with the foundation. Why did God do this? First, let me give you the big picture. The Bible is really about a king, a kingdom, and a royal. Men have been taught.
So when you realize that at the beginning, the Creator was constructing a house. He was constructing a house. And like I say, if you take Genesis by the man coming from, a woman coming from a man, real literal, okay, that's on you. But at the end of the day, even if you take that literal, that makes that male the foundation to that female. Or if you take it in an abstract way, it still makes the male asking the female to marry him. That still is in an abstract way that makes the male the foundation to that female. Because she's agreeing to the oath and to the foundation of that man being who he is. You can't get around it. The male is the foundation to the house. And for the male being the foundation to the house, he establishes his children. Because only something that is founded can teach about foundation, being secure. Because that is the male's purpose, one of the purposes to the house, is to be founded. Okay? That's why it says the blessings of the father establishes the house of the children. The blessings of the father establishes the house of the children. Because he's the foundation. He's the root. The root establishes everything up on top of it. If there's no root, you don't have nothing stable. He's the foundation. So now, let's get into the story of Abraham. Let's go to the book of Jasher. Let's go to Jasher, the 11th chapter. Let's go to Abraham's story. And we understand that we understand Abraham's story. We understand it. But let's dig into something real close, real quick. Let's get into something real. Oh, this thing's real small. Oh boy. Let's get into something real quick. Do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like this. Okay, here we go. Right here. Here we go. Stuff's still small. Anyway, let's cook and let's ride. Okay, we're going to start at verse 12. And it says, at the time died Nahor, the son of Sirach in the 49th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah. And it says, and as the 5th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, Abram came forth from the house of who? Noah. So he came from the house of Noah. You see? That means Noah was teaching him. That means Noah was teaching him. Noah was teaching Abraham, whose name was Abram at that time. Okay? He came, and it says he came from the house of Noah and went to his father's house. So a grandparent can't take the place of the parents. An aunt and an uncle or whoever can never take the place of the parents. Shem and Noah could never take the place of the foundation of Abram. Terah was his father, not Abram, not Shem. Shem and Noah were considered outsiders to Terah's house. Okay? Now, and it says, and Abram knew the Creator, and he went in his ways and instructions, and the Creator, his power was with him. So now, look at what's taking place. Abram learned the law from Shem and Noah. He walked in the ways of what he was taught from his grandfather and from his granduncle. Okay? But notice what had to take place. He went back to his father's house. Okay? He went back to his father's house. And it says, and Terah, his father, was in those days still captain of the house of King of Nimrod, and he still followed strange gods. Now here we go. Abram's father was celebrating and following idols, strange gods. I want you to pay attention to that. He was following strange gods. Okay. Verse 16. And Abram came to his father's house. He went back to his father's house. And Abram, hold on. And Abram came to his father's house and saw 12 gods standing there in their temples. Each one of those 12 gods had their own house. Okay. And the anger of Abram was kindled when he saw the images in his father's house. So Abraham was angry. Inside his father's house. Okay. Now let's keep reading. And Abram said, as the Creator liveth, these images shall not remain in my father's house. So look what he's doing. He's saying, look, as long as I'm here, this would not be put in front of me. So he's taking charge in his father's house. Some of you are afraid to open your mouth in your father's house when you see wickedness there. Abram was not afraid to open his mouth. And Abram said, as the Creator liveth, these images shall not remain in my father's house. So shall the Creator who created me do unto me, if in 3 days' time I do not break them all. So Abram is challenging himself. He's giving himself a time frame to be able to produce what he understands in his father's house. Honor thy father in words and in deeds. You see how that work? Abram said these things got to go. They got to go. Some of y'all don't have the courage to even challenge anything in your father's house. We talk about challenging it on wickedness. We talk about challenging it through righteousness. Verse 18, and Abram went from them, and his anger burned within him. He was mad. He was upset. He was angry. You see, he was in his father's house. But like I told y'all in part 1, you got to tell your parents that they mess your life up if they did not teach you the law from the beginning. And if you have to learn the law outside of your parents' house, when you come back in, you should challenge what's in your parents' house. Sister Latoya put up Ezekiel 33:13. When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trusts in his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered. But for his iniquity that he has what committed, he shall die for it. I posted because wickedness is determined by the law and judgments of the Creator, not by your personal outlook on what's right. That is true. That is true. We get into our feelings and what we think. And we mix that up with the law. The Creator already put out what the law is in the judgment for breaking the law. He already gave it. He's not changing that for you. And Abraham learned the law from Shem and Noah. So now he goes back to his father's house, and now he sees wickedness. He's supposed to keep his mouth shut? You tell me he's supposed to keep his mouth shut? Or he challenged it? Like the sister just put up in the verses. Because if he don't open his mouth or he don't do right, this is the problem. Verse 18, and Abram went from them, and his anger burned within him. And Abram hasted and went from the what? Chamber to his father's outer courts. Now watch. Now look where Abram went at. He went from where? He went from haste from the chamber to his father's outer court, and he found his father sitting in the court, and all his servants with him. And Abram came and sat before him. Now notice, I want you to see the move of Abraham. He had the right to go at his father. But notice what he did. He went and he sat before his father humbly. When he found his father, he was mad now. He was mad. But he came and sat before his father. He honored his father. He honored him. He had the right to go at his father the way he did, but he honored his father. That's why it says he sat before him. Look at verse 19. And Abram asked his father, saying, Father, tell me where a God who created heaven and earth and all the sons of men upon earth, and who created thee and me. And Terah answered his son, Abram said, Behold, those who created us are all with us in this house. Did you get that? Abram is telling you, I came from you. My brother came from you. See? Behold, those who created us are all with us in this house. There's no such thing as spookism. There's no spookism. We're all here. We're talking about lineage. Bloodline. Verse 20, and Abram said unto his father, my creator, show them to me, I pray thee. And Terah brought Abram unto the chamber of the men. Of the inner court, of the inner court. And Abram saw, and behold, the whole room was full of what? Gods of wood and stone, 12 great images, and others less than they without number. Abraham saw a whole bunch of statues, idols. It wasn't just the ones he came across, it was the ones he didn't see. So his father showed him all these things. 21. And Terah said unto his son, behold, these are they which made us all. Thus seest upon the earth, and which created me and thee and all mankind. See? He's given power to something that does not live. Like you see many of these people talking about the rapture came, but look at them still here. A lot of people sold their furniture, gave away their money, gave away their cars, and their asses are still here. Post-rapture, right? This is the messed up part, family. Terah is talking about idols. Abraham was talking about the law. This is the problem. And Terah bowed down to his gods, and he then went away from them, and Abram, his son, went away with him. So they're having a conversation. They go off wherever they're going at, and they're having a straight up conversation about those gods. And Terah came about and was arguing. Him and Abram was arguing about the gods, but then Terah bowed right before him. That's like somebody putting on a false god shirt or a cross around their neck. You see? So then, and when Abraham had gone from them, he went into his what? Mother. He went to his mother and sat before her. Now, notice he was talking to the father first. Now he goes to the mother. Because it's the foundation, family. Now you go to the mother. And he sat before her, and he said to his mother, behold, my father has shown me those who made heaven and earth and all the sons of men. Now, therefore, hasten and feeds a kid from the flock, and make of a what? Savory meat, that I may bring it to my father's gods as an offering for them to eat. Perhaps I may thereby become what? Acceptable to them. And the mother did so. And she fetched a kid and made savory meat thereof and brought it to Abram. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother and brought it before his father's, gods. And he what? And he drew nigh to them that they might eat. And Terah, his father, did not know of it. So in other words, he's challenging what's inside of his father's house. He's challenging what's inside of his father's house. You can read the rest on your own, but he's challenging what's inside of his father's house. But notice what he's not doing. He's not disrespecting his father simply because of the father's idols. He's doing it in a respectable manner. See how that work? He's respecting his father in a respectable manner. He's challenging his father in a respectable manner. Because his father is the foundation to the house. Rather if you agree or you disagree. He's the foundation. So number one, in the marriage vows, she agrees that the male being the foundation she can build upon. That's what Abram, when Abram went to the father, notice afterwards he went to the mother. He didn't go to the mother and then to the father, because the father is the foundation. The mother is what upholds the foundation. She knew about the husband's gods. She knew about it. That wasn't far-fetched to her. Because she took a vow with that man, that male. And she understood what that male stood for. She learned the essence of that male. Number two, she expands on the foundation she agreed with. She has to expand. That's what you see Abram's mother did. She expanded, meaning she went and got a kid goat. She cooked it for Abraham to see what his father was seeing. Number three, once she expands, she's supposed to give back to the foundation and not keep it for herself, meaning when she have children. She's supposed to give the seed back to the father. Okay? Abram went to Noah and Shem. But Abram still had respect for his father's house. That's why the mother did not mind doing what she did for him, because he still respected the house. He still respected the house. He still respected his mother and father. Notice when he went before his father, he sat there first. When he went before his mother, he sat there first. Because he respected the foundation. He may not have agreed with it, but he had to respect it. And he went at his mother the same way he understood that she supports her husband. He didn't come between the two. And number four, she has to make sure that she is locked down on the foundation. If Abram's mother was not locked down with the father Terah, she wouldn't have never cooked that kid goat savory. She would have never cooked it. That means she was about those statues too. She was about those statues. And number five, which means she has to be in tune with the foundation. That's why she cooked that food, because she was in tune with Terah. You don't believe me? Let's keep cooking. Let's keep cooking. Let's go down a little bit more. All right. And it says, and Abram asked his father, verse 19. No. I've got to go down. Let's go to verse 25. And his mother did, verse 26. And Abram saw on that day when he was sitting amongst them, that they had no voice, no hearing, no motion, and not one of them could stretch forth his hand to eat. Verse 27. And Abram mocked them and said, surely the savory meat that I prepared has not pleased them, or perhaps it was too little for them, and for that reason they would not eat. Therefore tomorrow I will prepare fresh savory meat, fresh savory meat, better and more plentiful than this, in order that I may see the result. You see, Abram is still challenging his father's decision. He's still challenging it. The mother didn't go against it. She didn't go against it. She cooked the food for him. You see how that go? She cooked the food for him. See how that go? So let's go back to Ecclesiasticus. It says, verse 9, the blessings of the father establishes the house of the children. The father secures the home. But look what the mother does. But the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. The curse of the mother rooted out foundations. Look at the word curse. The word curse means a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or she say things that will cause the foundation to have cracks in it, or to allow the walls of the house to have cracks in it. This is what the woman does. Let's go to Genesis 3:15, 15 and 16. Let's start right there real quick. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, verse 15 and 16. She rooteth out foundations. That's what she does. She rooteth out foundations. It says, the Creator said when he was cursing, bringing a curse, he says, and I will put enmity between who? Thee and the woman. And between your seed and her seed. So what does it mean she has a seed? Yes, she has a seed once the male gives it to her. When the male gives her the seed, it becomes her seed now. She's in control of that seed, not the male. She's nurturing that seed now, not the male. She's protecting that seed now, not the male. It becomes her seed. Because when the male puts his seed inside of that woman, the moment he pulls from out of the matrix, he detaches himself from that seed. Happy Shabbat, Brother Savage. Happy Shabbat. Shalom, shalom. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like button and share button as well. He detaches himself from the seed. That's the reason why the curse says her seed. Okay? She now becomes the protector, the nurturer, the guider. And when that seed reaches maturity, she began to bring that seed into existence. The moment she brings that seed into an existence, she's supposed to hand that seed back over to the male. But a lot of times they keep that seed for themselves. You see where it's going? This is the curse of the mother. She rooteth out foundations, because when she keep the seed for herself, she's not expanding the foundation she agreed to. When she don't teach that seed about the foundation, she's now creating cracks in that foundation that she agreed to build upon. See where that going? See how that go? This is the curse of the woman. When she root out foundations, she does not give back to the foundation that she's building upon. She keeps it to herself. So what happens to the foundation when nothing goes back to the foundation? What happens to the foundation? See, it becomes her seed until she realized she's supposed to give that seed back. Because the seed was given to her as a gift. Because that seed came from the foundation, which is the man. Shall bruise thy head. Meaning what? When that seed is out of order, it's not going to follow the foundation that it's a part of. It's going to try to overthrow it or overrule it. It's not going to have respect for the foundation because the seed was never given back to the foundation. Y'all see how that go? That's the curse. That's how a female root out the foundation. She would teach the child against the foundation or not teach the child at all about the foundation. Or somewhat about the foundation, but leave the rest alone. See how that work? And it shall bruise thy heel. And he shall bruise thy heel. Meaning he's going to be a heel grabber. He's going to be someone in the background. That's the government. It's a foreshadow. They following that cursed seed that destroy homes, that don't have respect for the homes. Because that seed doesn't know anything about the foundation and it disrespects the foundation. Not have respect for the females. This is what happens. Not have respect for self. It roots out foundations. This seed that does not know the foundation of itself or don't respect the foundation of itself tries to be in charge. Root out foundations. Because the mother did not give the seed back to where it came from. The mother didn't teach the seed of which it come from. The mother didn't do it. She didn't do it. This is how you root out foundations. Verse 6 said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows in thy conception. In sorrows thou shalt bring forth children. So in your sorrows, you're going to bring forth children. Sorrows, your grief. Do you know what it means to be in grief? It's not pain, because you automatically be in pain when you bring forth a child, right? But while she's in grief, what is grief, family? Sorrows. Let's look at the word. Let's look at the definition. Let's just look at the regular definition for the word sorrows. What do sorrows mean? Sorrows mean a feeling of deep distress caused by loss. What did she lose to be in grief, disappointment, or other misfortunes suffered by one's self or others? What did Eve do? She's going to be in grief bringing forth children. She's going to be in a disappointment stage. Deep distress, meaning she's not going to be stable. You see that? She's not going to be happy bringing forth a child. He says sorrows. Your sorrows are going to multiply when you bring forth this child. So could you imagine when she was having Cain, what kind of energy of sorrows she put upon that baby? But we don't look at that because energy do transfer. Energy transfer from one point to another. And thy conception. So when the seed take root inside of that female, sorrows is already there, affecting, messing with, and dealing with that seed that's in her body now. So the seed is not going to have rest inside of the female's body. I want y'all to pay attention to that. The seed ain't going to have rest. So when the seed don't have rest, when it says, he says in sorrow, and thou shalt bring forth children, you're going to bring forth children in grief, distress. Her mind is not going to be focused. She's not thinking about the foundation. She's going to be concerned about herself. I didn't write. So now we wonder why a lot of times when women have babies, they don't offer the child back to the male. Because it's about their feelings. They are in their feelings. They're in their thoughts when they have that baby. Because when you offer that baby back to the male, it's like you're offering that baby to the Creator. In sorrows. And the sorrows going to be multiplied. That means her distress, deep distress, disappointments, misfortunes, and sufferings is going to be there. So show me where she's thinking about giving that child back to the male. Show it to me. I want anybody to show me that, because she's gonna be suffering within her own self. So show me where she's thinking about giving that child back to the male, in which that child come from. I want somebody to show it to me. I want somebody to show it to me. She's going to be in her feelings. She's going to be in her own thoughts. Bringing forth children. She's not going to be grounded. When she conceive and bring forth. So when the sperm hits the egg, that means that energy of sorrows is already in that woman. She's already in distress. And we think that's not affecting that baby. This is how let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah the 6th chapter. Isaiah the 3rd chapter. See, the male gonna be trying to fight the woman to be at the top. The male don't belong at the top. The man belongs at the bottom. He's the foundation. But the man gonna lose the character of his position, and he gonna think he's at the top because that's what Paul told him. He's the head of the woman. So the head means the top. No, bruh. The head means the bottom. Who's holding the family up if you's at the top? Who's holding the family up? Who's the foundation? Who's the foundation? Isaiah 3. The man gonna be at the top fighting. And the woman gonna be in her feelings. Y'all see how the house go now? The house is messed up. The house is messed up, family. The man is trying to be the head at the top, and the woman's just in her feelings all together. That's a combination of this of a nitroglycerin bomb. Boom. Sister Latoya saying Eve gave her seed to the system of the serpent, just like most women today. Then you have a lot of men who aren't capable of taking the child because they were raised by the serpent system. That is true. And that's the reason why our children are in the position that they are in today. Because neither parents are in position for a child. That's why every adult don't need to have, they don't need children. A lot of adults don't need to have children. Because they don't understand how deep this curse goes. See, the man, I'm the man, I'm at the top. Nah, fam, that's why you fighting a woman. That's why you fighting her, because that's her position, is to be at the top. Your position is at the bottom, upholding the family. And the female has to understand that her feelings, by the way she feel, bringing forth children, is part of the curse. The man trying to fight it, trying to be at the top, part of the curse. The woman with her feelings and her emotions running wild, part of the curse. So tell me what your house look like. The Creator just cursed the house. He didn't just curse two individuals. He cursed the house. And he's telling you that there's going to be chaos in the house. Because one don't know the role, one is not going to know their role, and the other one is going to be fighting with emotions. Fighting themselves with emotions. I want you to think about this. The woman curses, she uproots the foundation. Isaiah 3:12. That's right. Let's cook. Isaiah 3:12. And it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. The children is going to oppress the people. How can children oppress you? Because you raised them in the wrong energy. You raised them in the wrong frequency. You raised them against the foundation. and we're not being honest about our feelings. And so when a child peeped that game, a child comes against you naturally. That's just the facts. Because the child ain't gonna have respect for you now. They're not gonna have respect for you because you did not set the foundation in the house correctly. So now they begin to be your oppressor. They is oppressing you in your own house. You become oppressed. Children are their oppressors. They bring you before oppression. The women rule over them. Why I didn't say the male? It says the women rule over them. You know why? Because she never gave them back to the foundation. She never gave them back. That's why she ruled them. And I showed y'all in Sirach, the 3rd chapter, the woman has the authority over the sons. Go pull up and read it for yourself in the 3rd chapter of Sirach. The woman has the authority over the sons. She rules them. She rules them under her curse. And a lot of our sons now have this feminization going on with them. Not masculine, it's feminism. Feminism. They're not manly no more. They don't understand power, order. They don't understand none of that. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. You're going to have people in power that were never designed to lead. And they're going to cause you to err. Because that old saying say, stay in a child's place. A lot of these adults are children. Because a lot of you scared to tell the truth in your own house against your own parents. You scared. And destroy the ways of thy path. I just talked about the path last week in 2 Ezra 16. I just sat there and talked about the path. A lot of us, we don't understand how deep the curse of the house goes. Let's go to Galatians 4:4. See, because it's about this woman that don't want to give the seed back. Even the New Testament testifies that. See, I'm about to show it to you. That woman supposed to have respect for that foundation, that when she expand on that foundation, and once when the foundation is expanding, meaning having children, the children are supposed to be given back to the foundation. You see? But somehow the woman keeps the seed. Now, I'm not talking about in all cases. I'm just talking in general. And sometimes the foundation is not in position to receive the seed that it gave to the woman. That's why you're supposed to keep your seed until you are able to cover and what you call it, to be able to help your seed expand itself as well. Secure your seed, foundate your seed. If you can't do that, keep your seed in your scrotum. Because if you put seed in that female womb, she will get pregnant. Because that's what it's designed for. So Galatians 4:4. Look what it say. But when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a what? Woman. Why didn't it say made of a man? Because who he's talking about is of the curse. Made of the woman, made under the law. What law is he talking about? That's the law of the curse. Talking about the woman's seed. Hint, hint. You talking about the woman's seed. And bruise, I will bring in between your seed and her seed. That means that seed was not given back to the foundation. So how does it live according to the law? Because the law governs the house. So why did they say made of the woman? Made of a woman? Because that's part of the curse. Second Ezra 5:8. Second Ezra 5:8. We're talking about the seed of the woman. This is how you destroy foundations that was given to male. Second Ezra 5:8. There shall be a what? Confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft set out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and monstrous women shall bring forth monsters, children that is out of order. You see how that work? They don't have no respect for the foundation. They don't. They do not have respect for the foundation. That's what makes them monsters. That's what makes them monsters. They don't have no feelings, no thoughts, no emotions. They don't have nothing. She roots out the foundations. She destroyed homes. Rooted out foundations. That means to destroy or uproot something by its very base or core. She roots out the core of a house. A woman that's a part of the curse. This is what a woman does. A wicked woman tears up a foundation. She roots up, she tears it up. Proverbs 14. Proverbs 14, verse 1 through 3. Every wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman plucks it down with her hands, because she's a part of the curse. She's followed the curse. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Creator, but he that is in his ways, this is the problem. Verse 3, in the mouth of the fools is the rod of pride. You see? But the lips of the wise shall preserve them. They're not going to be so quick to talk. The wise is not so fast to move. A foolish person is quick to do things fast without thinking. Proverbs the 9th chapter. (13 through 25). No, it ain't. Hold on. Proverbs 9:13. Okay. 9:13 through 18. Excuse me, Slakia. A foolish woman is clamorous. What do clamorous means? Clamorous. What is clamorous? It's an outcry. That's clamorous. It's an outcry. A foolish woman speaks loud. Make no sense. She is simple. See? And knoweth nothing. And that's why you see a lot of homes today are broken, especially in our communities. For verse 14, for she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the what? High places of the city. Everybody got to see her. You see? 15, to call passengers who go right on their way. 16, whosoever is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wandereth understanding, she saith to him, stolen water are sweet, and bread eaten is sacred. Excuse me, so like in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that and her guests are in the depths of hell. We talk about a wicked woman. She has no foundation. She has no respect for the foundation. You're talking about a woman that uproots the foundations, who holds on to the seed for herself. You see? Stay in Proverbs. Let's go to 9:13. That's why I was wrong. No. 19. Excuse me, Sirach. Proverbs 19, verse 13. We're talking about a wicked woman. Verse 13. A foolish son is the calamity of his father. A son that does the opposite of his father is a disgrace to his father. And the contentious of a wife are the continual dropping. Because that son that follows the woman, that's why I told y'all in Sirach, the 3rd chapter, the woman is she has the authority over the sons. And if the son follows that woman and not the father, who's the foundation, because sooner or later, he's going to be the one that put a seed inside of a female. He's a disgrace. Proverbs 21:9. That's why we have to know the curse. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Meaning you got a big house, but if that woman like to brawl a lot for your position, get away from her. Let me show you the video when I'm talking. Let's get into a video. We're still on fair use. Let's get into it. We're still under the Fair Use Act. Let's go.
By a CIA agent. And it was set up to be divisive against the black woman and the black man. And if you look at the deterioration of the black family, then you can start it off with the feminist movement.
The 1970s was a defining decade for contemporary black feminism. African-American women across a diversity of fields stepped forward to demand that attention be paid to the double burden of being black and female.
For the first time that we know of, there are fewer females on Earth than males. But it's also true that violence against females is the biggest indicator of all other violence.
Hello, welcome to Reactions and Reviews. I'm your humble host, Eze. Thank you, and I hope you...
Just as dangerous and even more threat to the traditional American family, a threat that is just as dangerous and even more insidious. The threat of the women's liberation movement. Let me be clear. I am not against women succeeding. I am not against women working outside the home. That's their choice. But what I am against is a small elitist group of Northeastern establishment liberals putting down homemakers. Now, the livers love to say that they're dedicated to choice. But if you dare to choose the path of full-time mother, well, there must be something wrong with you.
Our good elder, Shahrazad Ali, 30 years ago said, Black women jumped on the bandwagon of feminism. Feminism was about white women having issues with white men. It had absolutely nothing to do with the black family.
Now, for people that don't know your practice, and I'm not trying to be on your side.
Just give me a minute. Let's get the commercial out of the way. Let's go.
Because you see, the women's liberation movement is basically a very negative attitude toward life. It tells women, sister, the cards are stacked against you. When you wake up in the morning, you won't get a job. And if you do, it won't be a good one. And if you get a good one, you won't get promoted. If you get married, your husband will treat you like a servant. And marriage is just a lot of dirty diapers and dirty dishes. But don't take my word for it. Read their own literature. Betty Friedan. Marriage is, and I quote, a comfortable concentration camp. But it is not enough that they're demeaning us in the press. So
Now, see, this was talking to them. It had nothing to do with us. But we adopted what they were fighting about, and we brought it over to our community. But let's keep riding. Let's keep cooking.
no. Now they want to use our miraculous Constitution to create a sex-neutral society through this so-called Equal Rights Amendment, which will mean that that baby girl will be drafted and the men will be at home nursing the babies. I mean, can you imagine if Buck was left in charge of your children?
Oh, God help us.
That's right. It's ridiculous, and it's downright un-American because women are the primary care.
Look at Jesse Jackson and the NAACP and all them right there at the front. I want y'all to look at this now. I want y'all to look at who's sitting right there helping them fight to bring the female and the male to become equal. They're not equal in no aspect. The male has his role and the female has her role. How do you bring that to be equal? This is why a lot of foundations in the homes are destroyed. Let's keep cooking.
Caregivers in the home because we bear the children. And if the liberationists have a problem with that, they're going to have to take it up with God.
This is what Shahrazad Ali was saying 30 years ago. Everything this woman said had absolutely nothing to do with black people. Nothing. But yet, in 2023, a lot of sisters became exactly what this woman is speaking against in this clip. If you made it this far, hit that like button and leave a comment to trigger YouTube's algorithm. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. So hit that subscribe.
Only lies. We think that motherhood only lies with the biological woman. But I want to disabuse you of that because motherhood is a universal principle. Fatherhood is a universal principle. The masculine is a universal principle and the feminine is a universal principle.
That's why I told y'all the man is male and female. Man is not male. It's male and female together, which combines as a man. But let's keep cooking.
So I don't want you to think that I'm here as a feminist. Those who are watching, the women in the Nation of Islam, we are not feminists at all.
And this is why, not just in America, not just in the Nation of Islam, but Muslims all over the world, including Nigeria, you will not see a Muslim woman have a baby without a husband. You will not see a Muslim woman disrespect her man or her husband. You will not see a Muslim woman have multiple baby daddies. You will not see a Muslim woman take a picture of her ass and post it on social media. You will not see a Muslim woman condemn, degrade, or disrespect her man.
If you look at the history of the feminist movement, it dealt with the white woman wanting to defeat the patriarchal system of the white man. She wanted to get out the house. So while she was out there marching and fighting to get out the house, who was in her house? It was the black woman taking care of her household. It was the black woman taking care of her man. It was the black woman suckling her children from the breasts when she couldn't suckle her own children. So the feminist movement had nothing to do with the black woman. And if we fast forward this feminist movement, we see that the feminist movement back in the 60s and the 70s was instigated by a CIA agent. And it was set up to be divisive against the black woman and the black man. And if you look at the deterioration of the black family, then you can start it off with the feminist movement. The Monahan report talked about the degradation of the black family. And so when you have women like Gloria Steinem, who infiltrated the college campuses and portrayed herself as an activist, and when she was able to snake her way into the women's movement, and she took the face of a black woman. She created a magazine in which she took the black woman as the face, but behind that magazine, she had all vile manners of things to say about the black man. This is the history. You can go look up.
This is the serpent seed she's describing. Let me rewind it. This is the serpent seed. Let's rewind. Let's go. Let me rewind. Let's go again. Let's go.
So the feminist movement had nothing to do with the black woman. And if we fast forward this feminist movement, we see that the feminist movement back in the 60s and the 70s was instigated by a CIA agent. And it was set up to be divisive against the black woman and the black man. And if you look at the deterioration of the black family, then you can start it off with the feminist movement. The Monahan report talked about the degradation of the black family. And so when you have women like Gloria Steinem, who infiltrated the college campuses and portrayed herself as an activist, and when she was able to snake her way into the women's movement, and she took the face of a black woman.
She took the face of a black woman when she got in there. Let's keep cooking.
She created a magazine in which she took the black woman as the face, but behind that magazine, she...
Look at that. That's the serpent. He's the heel grabber. He puts the seed of the woman in front, and he becomes the heel grabber. Let's keep cooking.
Had all vile manners of things to say about the black man. This is the history. You can go look this up yourself.
I know you guys are asking, who in the hell is Gloria Steinem? Well, why don't we take a look?
Well, I think, economic issues, survival issues have always been the main emphasis of the women's movement, no matter how much the press has made it seem that it was about opening doors and lighting cigarettes in order to brush it aside. That has never been the case. Obviously, for most women in this country, the problem is survival. Jobs that pay $15,000 a year or more, 94% are held by white males. That's a pretty effective caste system. Pretty effective statistic. with the other 6% left over for all women and for minority men, you really begin to see this pretty rough situation. Until the women's movement came along and freed our heads and our hearts, I just assumed that you were not supposed to talk about having had an abortion or even sexual affairs. There was not a tradition that allowed us to tell the truth, and I didn't question that. I had had an abortion in England. It allowed me to live my own life, not to marry someone for whom I would have been the wrong wife and he would have been the wrong husband. I would have had a profoundly different life if I had been responsible for rearing a child.
We have a long way to go, but history is repeating itself in the sense that Black women are the single most important and influential group in the Democratic Party, just as women of color were more influential in getting the vote, if you see what I mean.
For you ladies that watch my content, did you all hear what she just said? Black women are the most influential supporters for the Democratic Party, yet no laws has been passed to protect Black people. Where is our anti-Black hate bill? Where's that at?
That's a heavy weight.
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become
The feminist movement was never made for the Black woman.
That's all it means to be a Black feminist to me, is that Black women and girls get to be the centers of the story for once.
Influential writers from Angela Davis to Alice Walker and Toni Morrison wrote about gender within the context of race. Their sophisticated, powerful stories centered upon the concerns of Black women. and gave readers throughout the world a window onto their experiences.
So when we talk about, starting at home and starting with the Black woman, there has been a systematic plan to divide and conquer the Black man and the Black woman.
Shaped by the work of this generation of feminists, legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw introduced the term intersectionality in.
She came up with the term intersexuality to add on to feminism. Watch.
1989.
She asks us to think about different experiences of womanhood or different experiences of being Black, and then to try to build policies and movements that address all of those moving pieces.
So the feminist movement has never done anything for the Black woman. Because when you look at the state of the Black woman, 75%, and we talk about that 75%, Sister Waikiki, is head up by the Black woman. Where are the men? It was set up that way.
Now, what do you guys think?
So you can see that in the video, it was set up, family, for the Black so-called family not to survive. This is the issue. Let's get into another video. We're still in the Fair Use Act, okay? Let's get into the next video. So fair use. We still in the Fair Use Act. Let's keep cooking. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hit 50K subs yesterday. So I want to take 5 seconds, every single one of you guys, in today's episode. Enjoy yourselves, family, and God bless you all.
The average Black man for certain brackets of women it's like he's not freaking pulling his weight. There's this complacency, like a little too soon. Like, it's good to be content. This is what I was talking about earlier. It's good to be content, but sometimes the average Black continues to bring you to. Some of these Black men, they're staying in this area right here. I don't know for what reason, because it's safe, because you have experience, because you've been doing it, but you can do more.
So what if a man is doing something that he's passionate about? It may not bring him $1 million a year. It may not bring him 6 figures a year.
Okay,
but it brings him happiness. It brings him peace in his life. That's what a lot of women are missing.
Okay, that's fine,
men
but nobody
said happiness.
Yeah,
and that's not coming to the table.
Nobody said anything about 6 figures. I understand that's like a common thing that's being discussed out here. Is like, he needs to make X amount of dollars. It's not about, okay, you can't just
I want you to pay attention to his face and her face.
What?
Let's go.
Your passion, we can't live off passion now. You can pursue your passion, but be a man. Do something else with your passion. Meet me where I'm at.
Okay, well, what if you double,
out there?
What if your salary doubles that number? Why come you can't bring that in and let him do his passion?
What do you mean?
Let's say
no.
Why
because
not?
I'm not here to take care of you. That's why. Your passion, you know what you better do? Your passion is something else. You can't just do you're the man. You can't just, and here's the thing.
Women don't want to bring anything to the table. I'm going to throw back a.
See, let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. Look at their face. She said the man need to find another passion if it's not doing what she think it ought to be. Let's hear it again.
It's not about, okay, you can't just make pennies. What your passion, we can't live off passion now. You can pursue your passion, but be a man. Do something else with your passion. Meet me where I'm at.
Okay, well, what if you double,
out there?
What if your salary doubles that number? Why come you can't bring that in and let him do his passion?
What do you mean?
Let's say
no.
Why
because
not?
I'm not here to take care of you. That's why. Your passion, you know what you better do? Your passion is something else. You can't just do you're the man. You can't just, and here's the thing.
Women don't want to bring anything to the table. I'm going to throw back a book reference that some young people may not remember. An author by the name of Michael Basin. He wrote a book called Men Cry in the Dark. And it's fact. That's some true stuff. We go through some shit, but yet the women that we have to deal with nowadays, I mean, a lot of it is fucked up. A lot of it is, that's why you got brothers going out of the country. It's like, they want traditional men, but yet we still ask for traditional women. But yet, if we ask for traditional women, we're misogynistic. We're all this other kind of bullshit. And, I just think it's crazy.
Hello, welcome to Reactions and Reviews. I'm your humble host, Eze. Minding my own business, doing some editing. I get a call from a sister that I'm dealing with. She asked me, Eze, what are you doing? I'm doing some editing as I reply. And she says, you need to come over here quick. I'm like, where are you? She says, I'm over my friend's house. They're having like a little get together and they're having a heated debate. So I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with me? And she replies, well, it's the subject, okay? What is the subject? They're debating about the things you talk about on your channel, about man, about family, unit, about black couples, about black men, black women. I said, oh, okay. Are they going to let me get them on camera? She tells me, yes, that she has already spoken to them and told them about me, that they're willing to do that. So I'm like, I get to shoot some content for my channel. Shit, say less. I'm on my way. So I get there, an hour and 15 minutes drive, introduce myself to everybody, set up the camera, and the rest is what you're about to see. Let's get to it.
What? So when you're like, oh, women say they bring this, and this, and it's not enough. That's your experience. So what stuff are y'all?
It's not enough. It's like when you talk about women who's like, okay, I bring my money, I bring my job to the table. We don't have.
Now let me stop you there. I can understand why y'all wouldn't care about that, right? Because it's like, am I wrong in saying that you're the man? And so why would you care about the woman's money? You know what I'm saying? Like naturally y'all are the provider.
We don't care about it because we don't have access to it. We don't have access to your money.
What do you mean?
Your money is your man.
If you're
most women want to be kept. They want the man to bring in, provide everything. They want the man to take care of the bills, take care of it. And that's fine if the man can do that. If he's financially able to do that, that's fine. Me personally.
Well, let me stop you there though. What do you mean? Two things. What do you mean if he can do it? You need to be able to do it. Now, I know there's this big debate about like, I want him to pay the mortgage. Girl, if y'all live together and y'all are married, who cares who freaking pays it? The money is.
But you got women who don't want to do that. You got women.
But that's weird to me.
Chris Rock said it 15 years ago. You got 90% of the women after 10% of the men. Every time you turn on YouTube, turn on social media, you go, oh, he got to make 6 figures. He got to this. He got to that. Okay, what are you doing? What are you bringing to it? Nothing. And
but don't y'all still are the provider, right? Now listen, we can bring it down.
We're gonna always be the provider.
You know what I want?
But
I want him to make at slightly below or slightly above. Is that unreasonable? Make what I'm making, make slightly below, or make.
If you made it this far, hit that like button and
Just
leave
listen,
a comment
family,
to trigger YouTube's algorithm. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. So hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to let you know every time I upload a new video.
In homes. Let's go.
Through Rula.
They are superficial.
It's cool if a woman makes a certain amount of money. That's fine. Men would accept that. But we know as men, if they make more money than we do, first chance you get, oh, punk, you don't make no money. You a punk ass nigga. They're going to throw that shit in your face. And you know they're going to throw it in your face. So that's why men prefer women who are not making as much money as they are. But you know what? It can depend on women. In some relationships, very few relationships, women may not throw it in a man's face. They may have an agreement. I have seen agreements where the woman, she knows she's the major breadwinner, she's the educated person. The man stays home, takes care of the family, takes care of this, takes care of that, and it's not thrown in his face. However, the unfortunate thing I have to say about that, I've only seen it with Caucasian couples. I've never seen it within a black family where the woman would say, hey, I'm taking care of everything. You just taking care of the family. Everything's good. And that person is still considered the head of the household.
One question, too, is whether an average man can be with an above average woman. And I think that the answer is no, generally speaking, for one, maybe for many reasons, but overall it's giving no. Don't want to, we can joke, like whoever I'm going to be with, right? It's going to be some joking about, I'm wearing the pants because we're going to joke. But at the end of the day, we were talking about this earlier. I want the respect to be there. And
so you can't respect a man making. Less money than you?
I can't stop. They're probably going to a lack. I have no stuff, right? But something there is missing. Okay, so you don't have the degrees, but something's lacking with your life experience, with your professional experience, your own internal desire and drive and motivation.
Even Gabrielle Union came forward and said it when she was dating a man and she was making more money than he was. She felt it was okay to cheat.
Your want.
So let me ask you this:
so I'm not gonna be attracted to that.
What happens when men flip it?
What's the flip?
What I say when men flip it, and they say, you know what? I make $150,000.
Hey,
she makes $60,000. She's below me. She's below me. I can't do it. They got to be making at least what up.
If he says that, he's gay. Because so she's making less.
See, masculinity always comes into it when men try to say something about their preferences. But women can always have their preferences. But men,
that's not gay. What, man? You just said we don't even care about the woman's money. Did you just say that?
I'm throwing the script
we ain't
out
got
there.
no access. What you want access to? I'm
flipping the script out there. Why is it okay for women to say this, but it's not okay for men?
Because it's gay. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If a guy says, I wish a dude would tell me, girl, you make how much? And that's gay. I would be, that's gay. That's if a guy makes more than a woman and his preference, if he were to dare say, oh, I make 150, she makes 60K, I don't want to be with her because she makes less. I said that was gay. We kind of disagreed on that, but my disagreement is because that is not what a real man would say. And I want to be with the real man.
That's one thing about black women. If something affects you, then there's a problem with it. But if it doesn't
here's
affect
the problem.
you,
here's what the problem is that women now are just, don't quote me on the stat, but we're more educated than right. So while we still want a man to do manly things and lead, and what happens is, and I get it, it's unfortunate, but what happens is now we're coming up in the ranks. We're not really relying on y'all the way that we used to. But it's but I still want him to do the stuff they used to do in the 50s and 60s.
And that's the crazy part. Y'all don't want to be traditional women, but you want traditional men.
Well,
that's where it gets fun.
That is true. But why should we have to not advance ourselves so we can get the guy that's making 60 so we can make, 50 or 40 and we can all live a little average old little lifestyle? We can live average still making, what was the number? 90 and 6. We can still live average. Ain't nobody out here about to be, in a freaking, ain't nobody asking for the mansion. Ain't nobody asking we need, 3-car garage, all this type of stuff. Who's trying to clean that stuff up? All that space and square footage.
Basically, you saying what I just said. Y'all can have y'all preferences, but men can't have preferences.
That's a gay preference to have. Have a different preference. That's freaking weird.
A man may want to have just what a woman has. And I think she's even said, it's okay if a man makes a little bit more or a little bit less. Well, you know what? That's her preference. But men can't have preferences. As you see, we're gay if we have preferences. I don't know how to... excuse the language. If men say that now, like Kevin Samuel said, hey, you know what? I have a certain standard that I can live to. I have certain options that I have. So if I'm not getting what I want, then I can do what I want to do. But it's okay when women say it. It's okay. It seems like there's a protective cloak over women.
That's what my friend told me recently, this guy. He said, and it was a group of guys, and they all agreed. It was news to me, but they were just like, we don't care if a woman works at McDonald's, if she will bring us peace over the woman with the degrees. And I was mind blown, because in my head, when you do achieve once you achieve a certain
financial status,
or something, status.
It's
that true. But that's such a rewarding. what it is for the person who achieved it is such a rewarding thing. You are now smarter. You are now, and so it was just crazy to be like,
you know as well as I know.
But that's crazy. Y'all don't want a smart woman.
It's not about being smart. It's not about being smart.
At McDonald's,
look at it like
saying,
it's not about being smart. It's not about being smart. If a man makes that kind of money, that means he's going out into the workforce and he's dealing with a certain type of individuals. He's dealing with certain things. He's dealing with stresses in the office, stresses, coworkers and peers. Mm-hmm. Why would he want to come home and have to deal with stress?
Men are dismissing so much about like, oh, your education doesn't matter. I don't care about it. Do you bring me peace? Or are you a source of comfort and all this type of stuff? And it's frustrating when you do have a certain amount of education and it's not valued because it's like, well, let's just focus on the peace that you can give me. I'm a person too. I got stuff going on. I'm stressed. You know what I mean? I'm out here being a go-getter. It doesn't matter. Be peaceful.
My last relationship was in 2014. I said, so nowadays, I'm not a part of the Pass Bro movement, but it's like nowadays, if women hear you say, oh, you travel, you want to go out and find them weak-minded women who don't know anything. No, men are looking for women who are raised with traditional values, because it's okay for a woman, it's okay for a black woman to want a man with traditional values. But when a black man wants a black woman, or any woman for that matter, of traditional values, oh, it's a problem. Oh, no, you're not right. You're gay. I'm like, damn, how up is that? This is what we have to deal with, guys. This is what we have to deal with.
Now, what do you guys think? Do you have?
So now you heard it for yourself. See, women want they want certain things for themselves, but they're not willing to supply that back to the foundation. I keep telling y'all about this curse. This curse goes deeper than what you think. Women will destroy foundations for their desire. They're not living for the foundation. They are living for themselves. I'm not talking about all women, but we're just talking in general. A lot of women live for themselves. They destroy foundations. Let's get into this last video, and we're going to be done for this weekend. Last video. Let's get into it. Women destroyed the foundations to houses. Okay, let's keep going. We're still in the Fair Use Act. Let's go.
I just don't know if I want to take that natural aggression, passionate way, because I know that that's what this topic needs, or if I just want to talk to the ladies so they can actually hear me out and not feel as though I'm attacking them. But I'm going to tell you this, what we not about to do is sit up here and act like Cardi B being pregnant with her fourth child by a whole nother man is something we're about to celebrate, because we're not. We're not about to celebrate messiness just because it's dressed up in designer. We're not doing that. Oh, well, I don't see what the problem is. She rich. She got the money. If I had the money, I have a bunch of kids and it's her choice, her body, her womb. Why y'all in her bit? Man, be quiet, because y'all will literally get on this internet and crucify Clarissa Shields for simply dating Papoose, for dating a married. Man, just dating, just 1 year old. She just turned 1 year old at the top of September, and you are already halfway into a second pregnancy with a.
Let's. Papoose is not in the middle of adultery. Clarissa Shields was single.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident.
Clarissa Shields were single. Okay. Cardi B was married. The Bible talks about adultery is when a married woman sleeps with either a married man or a single man. But if a married man sleeps with a a woman, that is not considered adultery, according to the Bible. Okay? So we have to look at these laws and recognize the laws. Let's keep cooking.
She's still married, and y'all mean to tell me that that's something that we're going to praise, and we're also going to say it's her business, and so is Clarissa Shield. That's her business too. That's her womb too. If she want to lay down and mess with a married man, that's her womb too. But y'all don't cut her no slack.
Shout out to the sister Chevy Caprice coming with nothing but the truth. The thing about the Clarissa Shields papoose hypocrisy for me is all these women, they had absolutely nothing to say about Remy Ma when she was literally sleeping with the help. Yeah, when she was creeping around with her husband with the block captain guy from Philly, way before papoose started entertaining Clarissa. Remy was spending holidays with the guy. She was all under the Christmas tree, hugged up, and not once did any of these feminist misandries utter a word about why she would do that to her husband, you know, who was seen as the guy who was being solid with Remy after holding her down for years. None of those women had nothing to say, but whenever papoose moved on, now everybody got smoke for Clarissa. Again, we're talking about the same people who ignored Remy rumbling around with the battle rap guy for years, who hid that relationship at first from her husband. And when he found out, he was so mad, he ended up physically knocking the guy out. They had nothing to say about none of that. They still supported Remy low-key, just like they're supporting Cardi B's foolishness and getting mad at everybody that's against it, calling it out.
It truly bothers me when I just sit up and watch the dysfunction in the girls' culture and watch the hypocrisy. Y'all pick and choose who back y'all want to have. Y'all pick and choose what y'all want to side with. And then, God, y'all kill me when y'all say, who are you to judge? You can't judge. And man, let me tell you something about that word that y'all use when y'all want to say somebody's being judgmental or who are you to judge. We all love to be judged when it's convenient for us. How I look today. I want y'all to judge me. Judge my look. Yeah, girl, you bomb. You look nice, girl. Period. Body tea, eats, love the hat, love the glasses. Oh my God, lip combo. Love it. Okay, thank you. So I'm able to take that judgment. But when somebody is judging you based off your character flaw or judging you based off things that you know that you need to correct, it's a problem. We all judge people, whether we're giving judgment or receiving judgment. But the only time y'all got a problem with somebody judging you is when you know in the back of your mind what you doing ain't the right thing to do and you don't want to hear correction. It's not that people are being judgmental. It's that you're not ready for correction. So you want to hide behind that. Who are you to judge? Who are any of us to judge? But we do it on a day-to-day basis. But y'all love to hide behind it only when you are not ready for correction.
Boom. 100% facts. And the flamingos that are always running around screaming, don't judge, they're the main ones judging. The only difference is they don't like when someone else's judgment doesn't line up with theirs. That's it.
Then she said, I haven't even told my parents that I'm pregnant yet. She said, really? Why not? Cause I'm scared of my mom and my dad. I'm scared of my parents. It's not that you're scared of your parents, Cardi. It's that you know that your parents know you deep down inside. They know the real you. And they also know your character. They know your personality. They know the core of you. They know just as well as you know that that baby that you are carrying is not made out of love. That baby is made out of spite and get back. That's why you literally decided to drop such, if kids are blessings, why are we dropping such a huge bomb out in the world for our loved ones to attach to it later on? It's almost like you dropped the bomb and now you hiding to see like, okay, I dropped the bomb, now what? Like you don't even want the backlash to what you know it to be, which is a mess. And then Stephon Diggs, baby, I don't know, because I don't really know no real player dude that's going to behind another man and messing with another man's wife and making her his baby mama while she's not even like divorced. So you don't really escape out of that either. You look just as whack as Cardi B. And this is not me judging. This is just straight facts.
Oh yeah, Stephon Diggs is the ultimate slime ball for more reasons than one. We're going to get into his mess too, but he was allegedly sleeping with Cardi when she was pregnant with Offset's last baby, and she supposedly tried to make Offset jealous, so she sent some sort of video proof or photographic proof of it, and you got females co-signing this? Yeah, she's an absolute smut. A bodega.
That's why I tell y'all these type women would destroy foundations to the house. Let's keep cooking.
Thought bucket who's going backwards in life. You're supposed to elevate, grow. And this mess that she did is equivalent to an undeveloped high school girl making dumb decisions.
Money don't got nothing to do with raising a kid. Yeah, it can get you some good daycare. It can get you some better Medicare. It can get you a bigger house. It can buy you some food. It could put a roof over your head. Yeah, sure. Having money is a part of being a parent, but having money does not create a family structure. Having money does not erase kids and their emotional state of mind. Having money does not create self-respect. Having money does not you are bringing kids into a different type of situation that they now have to grow up in. They have to grow up in chaos because you're creating chaos. And
I try to tell you about the foundation. Let me rewind. Let's hear her cook again. Listen, she's breaking the foundation down. Let's go.
Not erase kids and their emotional state of mind. Having money does not create self-respect. Having money does not you are bringing kids into a different type of situation that they now have to grow up in. They have to grow up in chaos because you're creating chaos. And I swear to God, I know women so well that you're not having this baby out of love. You ain't been with that man long enough. You aren't having this baby out of spite to try to make your husband feel some kind of way. This is what women do all the time. Y'all do this all the time to prove that I still got it, to prove that you see a man still want me. Man, grow up. Why are y'all using y'all wounds as get back?
Because they're low value, and that's really all they believe they have. Crazy too, because this revenge baby plot, it's not going over how she thought it would. See, she wanted to show that another man was interested in her, but I don't care about this NFL CTE contract. He's low value too. He's got like 4 fresh babies, some of them born already, some on the way. Then he already had at least another child before all these recent pregnancies. And then on top of that, he's trying to make other men his bottom. Got the LGBT men coming out exposing him.
Now, let me rewind this again. This man right here have children all over the place. Stefan Diggs. He have children all over the place. And they call this man a high-value man. I want y'all to think about. I want y'all to really think about it. And these are the type men. These are the type men women go after. Now she's going to break down Stefan Diggs. Let's keep cooking. Let me rewind and let's keep cooking. Go.
Grow up. Why are y'all using y'all wounds as get back?
Because they're low value, and that's really all they believe they have. Crazy too, because this revenge baby plot, it's not going over how she thought it would. See, she wanted to show that another man was interested in her, but I don't care about this NFL CTE contract. He's low value too. He's got like 4 fresh babies, some of them born already, some on the way. Then he already had at least another child before all these recent pregnancies. And then on top of that, he's trying to make other men his bottom. Got the LGBT men coming out exposing him. Yeah. On top of all of this, the man is gay. And quiet as it's kept, that's why he's running around trying to have all these babies by 50 women to cover it up. I'm sorry, men running around like that, so eager to put babies on women. They have 2, 3, 4 baby mamas. You have to watch out for them. They're using babies and women to cover up something. They obviously think that by attaching themselves to women and children, they'll throw everybody off. But in this case, it's coming back to hunt Stefan.
So you heard what she said. This dude is putting babies out there because he's covering up who he really is. And a lot of times those men that does things like that have women all over the place, babies all over the place. They're covering up something that they don't want people to see because, see, that makes them look masculine. Let's keep going. And that's the reason why these foundations are cracked, is because of who the man really is and what he's hiding. Let's keep cooking.
4 kids? Money ain't got nothing to do with it, man. That's 4 personalities. That's 4 mental spaces that you got to find yourself to be in when they all each need something. That's just too much. And money is not going to erase all of that. And so I don't want other young girls who are just watching this to think that that's a boss move. Ain't nothing boss about what Cardi doing. Ain't nothing cute about what Cardi doing. I don't care how much money she got, how much designer she put on, how cute she is, how much y'all admire her. She looks ridiculous. And this is complete embarrassment.
And think about all that work she had to do to convince herself and everybody else. It's really sad, especially considering how she's been trying to go after Bia and Ice Spice, talking about their looks. These are the girls who didn't have the same work that she had to her body and her face. It's her pretender defenders who really got her gassed up, thinking that she can comfort people in their natural state, like she wasn't rotting from her mouth down to her BBL.
Why are you not investing in tax?
They give them makeup and plastic surgery, and they literally lose their minds.
But because she got money, that's the first thing y'all lean towards. Well, she got money, so it's cool. It's not cool. I just wish more people cared about the type of situations that they are bringing their children into. Kids do not care about how rich their moms are, especially when their lives are being built off instability, quick decisions, and emotional confusion. I'm not saying that you got to be perfect, man, but y'all got to understand being a mom is more than a cute photo shoot, a maternity shoot.
Exactly. They use babies now how they used to use weddings. And some still do. But yeah, they want attention. They're just not ready for that lifelong work that comes along with it. The baby is used as a photo op, an accessory. They're used to feel loneliness and depression. Yeah, they use these kids as pawns, leverage, and even some like Cardi B as revenge, which is also sick but on a whole nother level. Yeah, they use these children to feel accomplished in life because they failed everywhere else. And quiet as it's kept, they end up failing at motherhood too, running around having babies with anybody, signing up to be baby mama number 2, 3, 4, being a part of these broken homes, and being a primary contributor themselves. Listen, when these kids grow up, they're going to express the trauma they put them through. So the jury is going to be out on that for another 2 decades.
And being a woman is more than you just being loud and rebellious to certain things to prove that you're grown and can do what you want to do. Because at some point, we got to start holding women accountable. If this was a man moving like this, y'all would have everything in the world to say. But because it's Cardi B, and because she got money, and because her messiness is dressed up in designer, y'all want everybody to just sit back, shut up, and applaud the situation. Baby, we not never about to do that. This looks a mess 100%. And we need more women like myself and other women to start speaking against this tacky behavior, because you're trying to make tacky the new norm, and I'm not going. We not going. We not making this the new norm. That lady looks ridiculous.
Do you know how long these devil rebellious 304s been mad at me over what I've been teaching for years now? They don't want to hear it. Nah, Eve's daughters cannot be saved. Jezebel's daughters can't be saved either, especially if they're over 30. Once they're over 30, they're set in their ways. You can't mold stale bread. I've been telling y'all that for years too. It's not much that's going to rock them. Yeah, it'll take something catastrophic to change their course. And even then, you still have to do an assessment on the situation to determine if there's still traces of toxicity. Let me tell you what everybody's after. It's the young souls. That's what everybody's fighting over. Yeah, the devil's objective is to capture the young souls. And these surrogates like Cardi B and everybody else, they're being marched out into the world to lure those young girls in. They're being used. Do you know how much money that record label Atlantic invested in her only to destroy the souls of a whole generation of girls and women? It's a spiritual war. And the older women can stop blaming the young girls like it's all the young girls following this mess. You have 30-year-old women caping for her. You have 40-year-old women caping for her. You even have women that's 50 years old and women in their 60s going along with this foolishness. Where do you think the young 304s learned all this mutt behavior from? But I digress. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this mess below. Gotta send a shout out to our brother Dark Power. I appreciate you, Dark.
So family, here you have it. I told y'all it's about the house and it's a spiritual warfare. You're talking about things that is happening in the homes. The house's foundation is cracked. And this is the problem when you have a foundation that is cracked. And when the foundation is cracked, the woman uproots the foundation. And this is the stuff that you have. And you uphold and you support and you back smut behavior. Where did it get these emotions from? This is the reason why you have to learn how to build the house correctly. Because if you don't, like she said in the video, those children are going to come back and rebel. And when they rebel, you're going to have to sit there and listen. Because you did not teach them the law. This is going back to the beginning of the video. I mean, the beginning of the parts, part 1. You did not teach them the video. You use your womb as a get back. You see? And like she said, Eve children cannot be saved, nor Jezebel children can be saved. You have to let them go. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up. If not, we're going to go ahead and move on. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come up. Let's have a conversation real quick. But this is the thing that we have to realize, that a lot of things we deal with, the foundation is cracked because the females destroy it. You see, they destroy it. The men is not even in place to be that foundation. And the women, a lot of women don't have the emotions to build upon that foundation correctly. So when there's an extension from the foundation, the whole house is out of order. And this is the reason why the Creator can't dwell in the houses of Israel. Let me get a scripture real quick. We're going to close on out. Let's go to the book of, let me see something real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this verse up real quick. We're going to end it with this verse here. It's in Haggai. Let's go to Haggai, the first chapter. All praise to the Creator. We're going to start at verse 1. Haggai, the first chapter. We're going to start at verse 1. In the second year, King Darius, in the 6th month of the first day of the month, the word of the Creator came by Haggai, the prophet, to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, saying, thus says the Creator of hosts, saying, this people says, the time has not come, the time that the Creator's house should be built. See? Then the word came to Haggai, the prophet, saying, is it time for you yourselves to dwell in your panel houses, and this temple to lie in ruins? Now therefore, thus says the Creator of hosts, consider your ways. See, he's asking them to consider your ways. Have you sown much and bring in little? You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe yourselves, but no one is warm. And he who earns wages to put it into a bag with holes. Thus says the Creator of hosts, consider your ways. Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the temple, that I may take pleasure in it and be glorified, says the Creator. You looked for much, but indeed it came to little. And when you brought it home, I blew it away, says the Creator of hosts, because my house that is in ruins, while every one of you runs to his own house. Therefore the heavens above, you withhold the dew, and the earth withhold its fruit. For I call for a drought on the land and the mountains, on the grains and the new wines and the oils, on whatever the ground brings forth, on men and livestock, and all the labor of your hands. In other words, I said that to say this. The temple of the Creator, we have to learn to build correctly. We have our own desire of how we want to live, but the Creator gave us a specific plan in how He wants things done. And if we don't do it the way He designed it, the way He pleasured it, then we can't get mad when we struggle. So I'm going to leave that here until next time. This is Maury Yacob at ITFTR Network. I hope you learned something tonight. Maybe next time we can have that conversation together. May your Shabbat continue to be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. Until then, shalom.